What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel where transparency meets trading. If you're new here, my name is Tiana, and my goal on this channel is to share my true and transparent Forex and futures trading journey. Every week, I share a recap video of all of the trades that I took, whether that's a win or a loss, along with chart analysis and a little bit of talking at the end just about things that I'm struggling with or advice that I like to give out that may help someone. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. But I do want to give a disclaimer. This week, I will be going over strictly my losses for the week. And my reason behind this is because I feel like a lot of times in this industry, we get so caught up in the wins and in the Lambos, and it creates this false facade that getting into the trading industry or this journey itself is easy. This is not easy at all. There are going to be setbacks. Trading is not an uphill battle. A chart, an uptrend is not going straight up. You're gonna have your pullbacks, you're gonna have your setbacks before you hit that goal of where you're going. And I think it's more so beneficial to the industry, and to my viewers and to other people is if you see the things that people are actually struggling with, you see the losses that they're actually taking, you see the things that they're learning from it. And then on top of that, it's beneficial to be able to see that person come out on the other side of that. Because if you see what I'm struggling with, the things that I was struggling with in the beginning, and then you go and look at where I end up or where I'm going, you can be like, hey, I can do that too. Those are some of the things that she was struggling with. And she got through it. I can get through it too and get to the other side. So I'm not going to talk too much, but we will be going over two major important losses that I took this week, why I took those losses, and I'm going to talk at the end a little bit about psychology, probably a lot of bit about psychology because it's something that's affecting my trading hugely. But let's get into the charts. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, again, I say this almost every video, but for those of you who may be new here, I trade based on structure. Everything on my chart is color coded based off of the time frame because I want you guys to see exactly what structure I'm looking at. It's one thing for me to tell you that it's an uptrend or this is where 1 hour is, but it's another thing for me to actually mark it out and show you so that I can make sure you can follow along. So to start out, as you can see, we have this 4 hour going on an uptrend. Let me find my text box. Here you go. I also like to label out the trends in this text box again so that you guys can follow along and see everything. So I have this 4 hour going in an uptrend, as you can see. If we go down to this 1 hour, which is color coded in blue, let me find this box and drag it over. You can see that I have this 1 hour going in an uptrend, correct? All right, so let's go down to the 30-minute. So as you can see right here, we have previous 30-minute structure going in a downtrend. And you can see if you put a fib over here, I also trade using fibs. Price pulled back to 38.2% and pushed all the way down to negative 60.80. And if you've been watching me, we know that that is a reversal level, which indicates price is about to reverse. You can see we had some divergence right here. So this is a large indication to me that price on the 30-minute is now in an uptrend, even though I did not have a break of this high right here. The fact that 30-minute trend was at a reversal level and we had this divergence and we had price bouncing off of this major 1 hour zone, that was enough for me to give me enough confluence to believe that 30-minute is now moving in an uptrend. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that. And so next, we're going to label the 30-minute trend that I saw when I took this trade. So as you can see, 30-minute was uptrending, came down here, boom. So we're going to talk about the reason why I took this trade, and then we're going to talk about the reason why I was wrong. So as you know, I only trade in the direction of 30-minute structure. If 30-minute structure is going in an uptrend, I'm only looking for buys. If 30-minute structure is going in a downtrend, I'm only looking for sales. It's very seldom that I trade against 30-minute structure, and if I do, it has to be major confluences of why I'm trading against it. But anyways, right here, as you can see, I had my 30-minute trend line. Let's go down to the 15-minute. I had my 30-minute trend line placed right here. And for me, when I was first looking at this trade, I saw candles close below this 30-minute, this previous low. I saw candles close below it, which to me felt like, okay, 30-minute structure has a break of structure. As it which indicates in my head, I was thinking, okay, 30-minute structure is now on a downtrend. Then I had a break in what I thought was a retest of this trend line. So this is the reason that I hopped in this trade. I set my stop loss to 15 ticks and my profit was going to be down here at this zone. So that's the reason that I took the trade. What I was looking for, had a break of 30-minute structure. I had a break and retest of a trend line. But to be honest, I only had two confluences. Most of the time when you only have two confluences, it's not a great trade to take. I like to have at least three, but again, I felt like it was a good trade, so I took it anyway. But let's talk about the reason why this trade lost where it was. Now, normally before I begin trading, I like to look at the higher time frames. On this day, I did not scroll up into the higher time frames to see the overall picture. I was just on the 30-minute time frame looking at it, and that's why I felt like this was a great trade. But again, you have to look at all time frames. So if we go up on this 1 hour time frame and we draw a fib from here to this first point, I like to put my fibs where that 0.00. I like to put it at the close of a candle, not at the wick. Me personally, you can see that price pulled back to the 61.80%, but it only pushed up to negative 27%. Usually, if price pulls back farther than this 50% level, that is an indication that price is going to push up to this negative 61.80. The farther that price pulls back, the farther it's going to go into the future. So that's one reason that this trade did not work out. Another reason is that if you pull up and go to this 1 hour time frame, you can see that this is actually a double tap of a zone. Some people like to call it a double bottom or a double top. I like to call it a double tap of a zone. It is a trade setup that I look for, but had I gone up into my higher time frames, I would have seen this. But I didn't. As you can see, price wicked out right here at this zone. This should actually be color coded in orange because it is a 30-minute zone. Let me change that for you. So you can see price tapped once, pushed up, came back down to retest it again before pushing all the way up to TP2. So even though on the lower time frame you had a break of structure, it was really just price wicking out on this zone right here. It's kind of hard to explain why I knew that it would continue go, or why I feel like now looking at it that this was wrong and price would continue going up. I've seen this trade happen very often. It's kind of like trader's intuition. Had I went up into my higher time frames like I was supposed to, I would have seen this and definitely not have taken this trade. But it is what it is. You take losses. You learn from them. I know now that no matter when I'm taking a trade, it is important to look at all your time frames beforehand, not just trading on one time frame. As you can see, overall structure is going to play out before that minor structure plays out. But again, it is what it is. I think I lost $960 on this trade. So yeah, that's that. But I definitely want to get into this trade on UCAD because it's gonna go into or explain exactly what I am currently struggling with in the market. But this is a great setup, so I do want you guys to pay attention because I feel like it's something that you can implement in your own trading, especially if you trade using structure. So even though technically I broke even on this trade, I'm going to talk about why I broke even, but this is a great trade to take. So please pay attention to this one. But anyways, let's go up on that daily time frame. So as you can see, we have 4 hour structure going in the downtrend, which is represented by the purple. As you can see, I have it labeled in this box as downtrend. Let's go down to the 1 hour. You can see that here, 1 hour structure is technically in an uptrend. I have not had a break of any one of these higher lows yet, But because I've been trading for a while, because I have been back testing for a while, I do have a strong feeling that price is now going to be on a downtrend. On the 1 hour, but that's neither here nor there. It has nothing to do with this current trade. But as for right now, just because I don't have a break below any of these higher lows, we're going to place in this blue box that 1 hour is still on an uptrend until I have a break of one of these lows. So let's go down to the 30-minute. And this is where your meat and potatoes is on this trade. So as you can see, we have previous 30-minute structure going in an uptrend. Right here. You can see that price pulled back to the 38.2%. It pushed all the way up to the negative 61.8%, which is one indication of a reversal. The second indication of a reversal is that you have divergence. Divergence is when the market is trending upward on the charts, but it is trending in the opposite direction on your RSI indicator. So as you can see, the market is trending upward right here, but down here on this RSI, it is going downwards. So that's another indication that price is about to reverse on 30-minute structure. And then your big aha indication that price is reversing on 30-minute structure is right here. You have a break of this 30-minute trend line. And you also have a break of 30-minute structure, which is what I labeled right here. So this is number one. This is my first confluence of why I took this trade or this setup. You have a break of 30-minute structure. That's number one. Number two, you also have a break of this 30-minute trend line. Now, this is something very important on this trade that I want you to see. You see how price has a whole lot of momentum coming down off of this trend line? To me, this is a strong indication that price is going to come back and retest a zone rather than this trend line before continuing down. It would take price a lot of momentum to get back up to this point to retest before going down. So most of the times that I have noticed from back testing, when price pushes past a trend line like this with this amount of momentum, it's going to more than likely pull back and retest the zone instead of a trend line before continuing forward. So this is something that I look for on these types of setups. I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, so for this setup, for me personally, when I see that price is retesting a zone, I like to see price retest that zone twice before I get into that trade. If it retested once and continues to push down, that's okay. That's fine with me. That's a trade that I miss out on. But for me personally, for this setup, I have to see price retest this zone twice before I get in. So as you can see right here, price came back right here, tested it once, went down, 30 minutes, came back and retested it again. That second retest was my indication to get into the trade. So that was confluence number 3. Confluence number 4, you have this green box, this red box, and you have this blue box. And you can kind of put more than one blue box, but I'm gonna just put one to keep it simple. And for those of you that don't know, what this is price came down to test this zone. It pushed off of it, which represents that green box. It broke through this zone, which is represented by that red box, and it came back to retest it, which is represented by that blue box, which is my fourth confluence, the green box, red box, blue box, of why you should take this trade. So again, let's go back through all the confluences so that you guys understand. Number one, 30-minute is in a downtrend. How do I know that? Because I have a break of 30-minute structure right here. This previous 30-minute structure played out, and you also have divergence. So that's how I know that 30-minute structure is now in a downtrend. Number two, price broke this 30-minute trend line, and it broke it with a lot of momentum before breaking this 30-minute structure. So that's my second confluence. Number three, price came back and double tapped this zone. For me personally, like I said again, I like to see 2 retests, at least 2, before I hop in a trade like this to ride price on down. Most of the times, most of the trades that I take are based off trend lines, but this is the one setup that I look for that is based off of a zone that I take. It takes a lot of practice to learn how to trade these zones. So if you are not there yet in your journey, please don't force it. Definitely work on it. But this is a setup that I have worked on to catch a lot. So this is why I got in the trade. But anyways, number 4, you have the green box, red box, blue box. So this is why this was a great trade to get in. But now we're going to talk about what I struggle with and why I broke even. So in me thinking about it, it doesn't even make sense in my head. It was very stupid, but this is my journey. So we're going to share it. As price was moving down, I moved my stop loss into profit because I knew that news was going to come out. And honestly, at this point, because I had lost a trade earlier in the week and because I had lost a trade the week before, I was afraid of losing more money. I was afraid that if this trade didn't work out, I was going to lose more money. I was going to come on here having to show you guys more losses and things of that sort. So I ended up breaking even on the trade, literally. I can show you a screenshot of this week's trades. This is from my funded futures dashboard. You can see I lost $1.20 on this trade because I broke even. I closed the trade right before news because I didn't trust in my analysis. I was afraid of losing another trade. And so this goes into play into psychology, my psychology, which is what we're going to talk about at the end of this video. So it was a great setup. I did still want to show you guys that setup because again, like I said, this was a great trade. And had I not been in my head, this trade would have won me. This would could have been like a 1 to 3 if you would have moved your stop loss into profit. Definitely like a 1 to probably like a 1 to 4 trade after news. It would have been a great setup. But again, because of my psychology, I hopped out of the trade. But with that being said, that's my analysis for the week. Those are the trades that I lost, but I want to get into talking about psychology. So I'm going to stop sharing my video. So now you guys can only see me. So as you can see, the first trade that I lost this week, okay, cool. I didn't identify structure correctly. It's a part of the game. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect. But that second trade is something that I should not have lost. It's a trade that I should not have hopped out of. And I want to share this because this is something that I am struggling with immensely in my trading journey. FOMO, fear of missing out. Right now, I am at a critical point in my trading journey where I have the skills, I have the setups. I've been putting in the work, the chart time. I have a little bit of trader's intuition. Like when I tell y'all I have these charts down to a T, I still make mistakes. Like there's no one that's perfect that isn't gonna make mistakes on their journey up. I've only been live trading for 1 year, but when I tell y'all I have these charts down to a T, I have them down to a T. Right now, my personal struggle is this right here. If I cannot get past this, I'm not going to be able to move to this next stage of my trading journey. Which is why I want to talk about it because I know that there are other people that are struggling with this or that may be struggling with this. And I feel like me talking about it a little bit, you guys maybe can relate to it and you guys maybe can pull something from it. But anyway, let's talk about FOMO because that's exactly what I'm struggling with. And what FOMO is, FOMO or the textbook definition of FOMO is what happens when an investor or a trader allows their fear of missing out on money or losing a trade, but basically the fear of missing out on money affect the decisions that they make in the market. But first off, what I'm about to get into, I'm a very spiritual person. I love the Lord. If you can see in the description of my channel that God is my creative director. So what I'm about to talk to, if you're not tuned in with God or if any means this affects you, watch the video because you may find out you may get closer to him or you may find the Lord and you wouldn't even realizing it. Continue to watch my video. But if you don't want to watch it, click off because I'm about to talk about God. Anyways, but let's get into it. FOMO is something that I'm struggling with, and I realized that most of the things that you struggle with in the charts are a mirror of what you are struggling with in your life. If you have a fear of losing out on money, there is something in your life that is going on that is causing that fear. If you are not, being disciplined and waking up, there is something else 9 times out of 10 going on in your life that you are not being disciplined about. Your life and the things that you are struggling with outside of the charts transpires into the charts. And it took me months of trading to realize this. Like it's all into one. I don't care what anybody says. If your life is not going right outside of these charts, you can't expect to get on these charts and emulate the same thing or 100% win rate or 90% win rate when you're not doing what you got to do outside in life. So I just want to say that because for me personally, I'm having FOMO on the charts because I am experiencing FOMO in my personal life. And let me explain. In my spiritual journey, I have been on this walk with God for about 2 years now. It has been the most transformational thing in my life. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. But the one thing that I am struggling with spiritually is to allow the Lord to guide my steps in life. For so long, I have been trying to control my own life, control every aspect of my life, but I have realized that one is not for me to control. I have to trust the process. I have to trust what God has for me. I have to trust that He's not going to lead me astray. I have to trust that whatever He has for me is going to lead me more to my purpose. Me continuing to try and orchestrate my life or continuing to try to go down my own path is not going to do anything but lead me to destruction or make me take even longer to get to where I'm trying to go. So the biggest thing that I have learned, that I'm trying to learn, is to allow Him to lead my steps in life, to allow Him to lead me to where I'm going, to take my hand off the wheel and allow Him to drive my life. But in order for you to do this, in order for me to do this, you have to have patience. You have to have patience with God. You can't expect, not saying that He can't do it, because He can turn something around in a day, but you can't expect this journey to be when you want it. When they say it's going to happen on His timing, it's going to happen on His timing. So you have to have patience. And I realized when I was thinking about the FOMO that I have in the charts, and the fear of missing out, the fear of losing money, I'm not having patience in my personal and spiritual life. I look on Instagram and I see, where everybody else is in their journey, and where I feel like I should be at this current moment, where I feel like I deserve to be. And so this is causing me to try and speed up this process. This is causing me to try and get somewhere that the Lord may not want me to be right now. I'm trying to speed up the process when all reality, I'm not being patient and trusting that I will get there. When He allows me to get there, that I will get there in His own timing. And so that is the biggest thing that I'm struggling with right now. And I feel like that is one of the biggest reasons why I'm struggling with FOMO in the chart. This transpires into trading, because in trading, you have to be patient. You have to be patient enough to wait on your setups. You have to trust and believe that if you stick with your plan, that those setups are going to come. You have to trust and believe that even when you may have a loss, that if you stick with your trading plan, the trading plan that those wins that you have is going to trump all of the losses that you have taken. It's trusting in that plan. And so in my spiritual life, I'm learning that I have to wait. I have to be patient, and I have to trust in God's plan for me. I cannot force this journey. I cannot force me to get to a point where I'm not at. It's not gonna happen. When you try to do it by yourself, I promise, I've learned in these last few months, I can't do it by myself. And I can't force myself to get there. I have to trust and believe that when it is my time, when it is my God ordained time, nothing in this world is gonna stop it. Not no man, not no devil, nothing is gonna stop me from getting there. And I have to be patient and trusting in His plan for me, trusting that He wants me to be a successful trader. He wants me to be able to influence people. He wants me to be able to help my family, but that is going to happen in His own timing. I may be rambling a little bit, but I'm trying to get this point across. So again, for me personally, I'm struggling with FOMO, but I think that in order for me to overcome this, I'm going to have to be patient in my personal life. I'm going to have to accept the fact that I may not be where I want to be, but God's plan for me is so much greater than anything that I can imagine. But in order for me to get there, in order for me to be pushed into His purpose that He has for me, I have to be patient. And that's going to transpire into the charts. But that's a little TED talk for today. I just wanted to share that. I probably rambled a little bit, but I just felt like if someone else is struggling with that, and you are spiritual as well, that may be something to take a look back, a look at. What are you struggling with in your own personal life? What are things that you're struggling with spiritually? Because 9 times out of 10, if you can figure that out and pinpoint that out and get a hold on that, it'll transpire into the charts. So my biggest goal for this next month is to be patient. Trust in God's plan, trust in God's timing. Just be authentically myself, keep putting in the work, keep having mundane faith every day, and also transpire that into the charts. Trust in my trading plan, trust in my skills, trust in being patient and waiting for your setups. So those are the two things that I'm working on. Other than that, another thing that I wanted to say, because I took those two losses, I'm just gonna be upfront with it. Traded NFP because I was like, I took these two losses. Let's just gamble a little bit. Let's see if I can get the account out of drawdown. Didn't go right. Never does when you're trading news, but that is what it is. But the only reason that I did that is because with my funded futures, when you are in profit, they give you a free reset at the end of the month. So if you're at the end of the month and your account is in profit and you haven't broken any rules, you get a free reset. So because I wanted to start off fresh, I wanted to basically kind of undo some of the mindsets that I had when previously taking this first challenge. I decided to use their free reset. So let me share my screen again. So as you can see, if you go to this My Funded Futures page, you can see that my account is completely reset. We are back to zero. No trades have been taken on it at all. I did not pay for a new account. I just used my free reset. But I wanted to be open and honest about that because I have been sharing my journey with this challenge that I have been trading. I restarted it, but I want to restart it with a new outlook on it. Number one, like I said, I'm struggling with FOMO, but I want to overcome that. Number two, I realized that some of these trades I'm taking, some of the decisions that I'm making, I make a decision because I know that I'm going to have to post those trades on YouTube. I'm going to have to show that to you guys. And being an influencer or not influencer, I don't know, but sharing your journey and also taking trades and being a trader, nobody talks about it, but that is hard because you have everyone looking at you. Not that I just have this big following, but it's like, every time you take a trade, you're thinking about, okay, what are these people going to think? Are they going to think low of me? Dang, I lost this trade. They're going to think that I don't know what I'm doing. Or dang, I won this trade. They're going to be so excited to see all this money I make. It's like, when I tell you that plays with your psychology and something that I didn't even realize until I started, recording this, that plays a whole lot into it. Every trade that I take, I'm thinking about what you guys are going to think about me. If I take a loss, I'm thinking about, oh, you guys are going to think that I don't know what I'm doing, da, da, da. But I had to kind of get in my mind this week that don't none of that matter. My purpose on here is to share my true and transparent journey and encourage and inspire someone else. And I have to realize that, yeah, and be okay with that. So that's something that I'm also learning how to overcome as well. This is very new to me, but it's something that I'm getting used to. So that's another thing that I'm going to work on as well. But again, I'm going to end this video out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know anything that you guys are struggling with, or if you're struggling with FOMO as well, or let me know anything that I may can go over to help explain certain things or anything like that. But again, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video.